My name is Bill Campbell. I'm a professor of exercise science and sports nutrition researcher. Much of my research focuses on building muscle mass and sometimes also preventing the loss of muscle mass in a catabolic environment. What I'm going to do today is talk about building muscle mass. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to describe one of the key processes involved in building muscle. And that process is called muscle protein synthesis. What is muscle protein synthesis? Well, it's the process of taking amino acids in our body that we got from ingesting protein and synthesizing them and building them into new protein in our muscle cells. It's called muscle protein synthesis. And if your goal is to build muscle mass, you want rates of muscle protein synthesis to be as high as possible. Now, there's a couple things you can do naturally to maximize muscle protein synthesis. The most common are to resistance train or lift weights, and then pair that with ingesting optimal amounts of daily protein that are of high quality. Now, let me say this again because this is important. If your goal is to maximize muscle protein synthesis, you do two things: lift weights and pair that with eating an optimal amount of protein each day. There's also been some research on dietary supplements that have been shown to increase muscle protein synthesis. And today I'm going to summarize one of the studies that actually investigated this. The supplement that I'm going to summarize today in the research study is on a supplement called Fortitropin. Now, what is Fortitropin? Well, it's a unique dietary compound that's extracted from fertilized egg yolk. And the study that I'm going to summarize was a collaboration of researchers from Cal Berkeley and the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences. And the study that I'm summarizing was published in the Journal of Gerontology. Now, what these researchers did was they took 20 subjects that were male and female, and they divided them into two groups. One group took approximately 20 grams of Fortitropin, and the other group took approximately 20 grams of a placebo that was calorie matched and protein matched to the Fortitropin supplement. Also, these subjects were a little bit older. Their average age was around mid-60s. Now, the researchers gave them either the Fortitropin or the placebo for 21 straight days, for 3 weeks. It's also important to note that this study was a randomized double-blind study. What that means is that the subjects didn't know if they were taking the Fortitropin or if they were taking the placebo, and the researchers didn't know if the subjects were taking the Fortitropin or the placebo. This is always something you want to look for when you're looking at high-quality research designs. Is it a double-blind randomized study? And this study was. All right, let's get to the results of the study. After 21 days of supplementing with either Fortitropin or a placebo, these older subjects experienced a significant increase in muscle protein synthesis when they were eating or consuming the YOLKED supplement, the Fortitropin supplement. Specifically, their rates of muscle protein synthesis on average was 18% higher. Now, the authors of this study commented on this and said that this study lends some evidence to the fact that Fortitropin may help prevent anabolic resistance. So let's talk about that for a second. Anabolic resistance is a situation in which our muscles become less sensitive to increasing muscle protein synthesis after eating protein. Now, when we're younger, when we eat protein, we have a natural increase in muscle protein synthesis. But as we age, when we eat protein, we do get an increase in muscle protein synthesis, but it's reduced. It's not as much as it was when we were younger. So in this case, in this study, the Fortitropin supplement actually improved this situation. It improved muscle protein synthesis rates. And the interesting thing was there was no resistance training in this study. The subjects only took the Fortitropin, and that was it. They didn't pair this with exercise, and they didn't take a specialized diet. In fact, the researchers were very clear in the study design when they told the subjects, make sure that you don't change your exercise habits. So don't start a new exercise program, or if you're currently exercising, don't reduce what you're doing or increase what you're doing. And then the other important component here is the researchers told the subject, don't change your diet. Just eat as you normally do during this 3-week study. So again, to summarize, there's a situation called anabolic resistance that describes a situation where as we get older, we tend to not increase muscle protein synthesis as much as we did when we were younger. In this study in older subjects, when they were taking Fortitropin, the supplementation resulted in a significantly increased muscle protein synthetic response, and therefore it improved this anabolic resistance that's commonly seen as we age.